I'm pleased to be joined by Nebraska head coach Scott Frost. Coach, how you doing?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm good, sir. I want to start with the offseason changes that have come, 15 transfers, overhaul the offensive staff. Do you think you have the right mix going into 2022?
We got a lot of the right people. We got to do a good job making sure that group of people comes together as a team. Anytime you bring new people on board, you got to get everybody integrated and on the same page. And we've done a good job of that in the offseason, but there's still work to be done.
Mark Whipple's resume really does speak for itself. I know what he did at Pittsburgh, but there's also these wide receivers that he's turned out, Jordan Addison, Andy Isabella. What are you hoping to get out of your passing game this year?
Well, I think he's really creative. He's been around the game a long time. He's really smart. They do some really good things and have done, and I'm really looking forward to turning a lot of it over to him. I think there's going to be a good mix of what we've done and what they've done, and he's really smart. We just have to find a way to work together and put together a good product.
This is interesting because I've come to know you as a play caller. I've come to know you as an offensive coordinator. You mentioned ceding some of this to Mark Whipple.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him take over for the most part. I'll still be involved, but I'm looking forward to spending a lot of time with the other guys on the team and the other units as well. And there's a lot to do as a head coach, and this is going to free me up. But I wasn't able to do that unless I had somebody I really trusted to kind of take over and run it when I'm not around. And Whip's certainly accomplished and experienced and capable of obviously coaching really good offenses.
Are there any other changes that you made 2022 to prepare for this season?
We're always looking to tweak. We feel like we've been on a good path and doing things the right way, and our team has improved. So you don't want to change course, but you're always looking for ways to change little things to get a little bit better, and we'll continue to look for those.
Talk about a couple players, if that's all right. Casey Thompson in particular. What about him drew you to him, and how did you end up with him at Nebraska?
We got two transfer quarterbacks, Casey and Chubba Purdy. I think with the departure of our quarterback from last year, we just wanted to make sure the room was full and we had good competition. Both those guys have done really good things since they got to campus. Whoever's playing quarterback, I think, is going to be surrounded by maybe the most talent that we've had in Nebraska since I've been there. So we need to get good quarterback play, and we're going to let them compete in the preseason and see who comes out on top.
It's a very important position, and I know you know that, having played it at Nebraska. One of the things I think is flying under the radar, though, is Anthony Grant, who had an extremely good career at JUCO. Could you tell me more about him as a player? Yeah,
AG came to us from New Mexico military in New Mexico, had a really good year. We were kind of interested in recruiting him. One of our coaches was at one of his games to see someone else play and was blown away by him. He adds to a group of probably the best stable running backs we've had. A couple new freshmen coming in. We get Gabe Irvin back. Jockey Ant did some really good things last year. Ramir Johnson was our lead back last year. So there's going to be good competition there, and we feel like we've got good depth.
A couple bigger picture questions for you, Coach. You get the honor of playing August 27th in Dublin, Ireland. How are you preparing your team for travel and playing against Northwestern?
Yeah, mostly mentally right now, trying to get them ready for that challenge and making sure we handle that challenge as a mature team and doing things the right way. A game like that, a lot of it has to come down to how well you're able to handle it. And we're going to go over there a little early and make sure that we get adjusted to the time. I want our guys to understand that challenge that's in front of them and make sure they know the details so we can try to handle it like pros.
What are some of the challenges for preparing to take a team overseas to play football?
What's been going on for a long time, all the details and everything that goes into it, our ops staff has done a good job with that. We had to get passports for everybody that's going to be on the trip. With COVID things, we were trying to decide and figure out what we had to do with that, and luckily that's slowed down a little bit. But there's been a lot that's gone into it. We got to do a good job with sleep. We got to do a good job managing our schedule before we go over there to try to get on European time a little bit, and we got to do a good job being disciplined and focused once we get over there.
Some big changes afoot in the sport, as you very well know. USC and UCLA are scheduled to join the conference in just the next 2 years. How do you feel about the expansion of the Big Ten Conference?
Well, I give the conference a lot of credit. I think they're being proactive and trying to get ahead of some of the changes that are inevitably coming to college football. We welcome really good teams into this league, to join a lot of other really good teams. And I don't know if coaches' opinions matter, but I think we're moving in the right direction. And I think the Big Ten is going to be an important part of whatever happens in college football going forward.
Your perspective is particularly interesting to me, having played the game at such a high level. And not to put you on the spot here, but I watched 97 Nebraska, and I remember it as a child. How has the game changed for you growing up to be a head coach over the last 20-some years? There's
been a lot that's changed. You know, conference realignment has changed. Some of the rules have changed. Obviously, we've changed conferences. It hasn't changed the passion for football in the state of Nebraska. Hasn't changed the love for the sport that our team has and our fans have. Nebraska's an unbelievable place to be lucky enough to be the coach at, and we're working every day to make sure we put a good product on the field.
My last question for you, Coach, and please indulge me on this as it's open-ended. How do you feel about the future of college football?
I think we've seen a lot of changes. I think there's a lot more coming. I think everybody that you ask that question to will give you the same answer. I think there's a lot of guesses where it'll end up, but I don't know if anybody knows right now. I kind of looking forward to it. Whether you agree with it or not, it's coming, and you just have to do the best you can to adjust and embrace it.
Nebraska coach Scott Frost, thank you so much for taking the time, sir.
Thanks, RJ. You look good.
Thanks, sir.
Thanks for watching this video, and remember, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any other videos on the #1 ranked show YouTube channel.